Hello my dear students, welcome back to this class. I hope all of you are fine. Today in this class we are going to talk about a person who does not need any introduction. Born in an island town, graduated in science, scientist by profession, recipient of many coveted awards including Bharat Ratna, author of several books including his autobiography. Guess who that is? He is also known as Missile Man of India and he is fondly called People's President. Yes, you're right. It's none other than our former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Let's get started without any further delay. Our topic name is My Childhood. Abdul Kalam has shared some incidences that had happened in this lesson with all of us. You know, his autobiography is Wings of Fire. So whatever our lesson is, it is extracted from Wings of Fire. Here I have a few quotes of APJ Abdul Kalam. You can't change your future, but you can change your habits, and surely your habits will change your future. So my dear students, all of you have good habits. Your habits can change your future. If you want to shine like a sun, first burn like the sun. If you want to become successful in your life, Abdul Kalam advises us to work hard. Mistake increases your experience and experience decreases your mistakes. If you learn from your mistakes, then others learn from your success. Never complain about the difficulties in life because a director always gives the hardest roles to his best actors. So you are the best actor if you get difficulties in your life, according to Abdul Kalam. Let's move on and know some things about this great man. Awul Pakir Jainuddin Abdul Kalam. He was born on 15th October in 1931 and he was brought up and born in Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu. He worked for 4 decades as a scientist and science administrator at the DRDO and also at Indian Space Research Organization. He is known as Missile Man of India. He was elected as the 11th President of India in 2002. He was referred to as the People's President. He was a recipient of several prestigious awards including the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor, and he even received doctorates from many universities, honorary doctorates from many universities, like 48. And he even received Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan. While delivering a lecture at the Indian Institute of Management, Shillong, Kalam collapsed and died from an apparent cardiac arrest on 27th July in 2015. And you know one thing? To commemorate the birth anniversary of APJ Abdul Kalam, it is observed, his birth anniversary, that means 15th October, is observed as World Students' Day. Let's know more about his family. His father's name is Jainul Abdin. His mother's name is Ashiyamma. And you can see Abdul Kalam there. Talking about his father, he was not educated and he was not wealthy. He was not a rich person. He was neither educated nor wealthy. He was not a rich person, but he had innate wisdom. And he was very strict. He was austere. He was very strict. He avoided all luxuries, but all the necessities are provided in Abdul Kalam's home. Jainul Abdin was a wise person, although he was not very much educated, although he was not very rich, he was very strict and he provided all the necessities like medicines, clothing, education for all in his house. But he always avoided unnecessary luxuries. Talking about Ashiyamma, she was an ideal helpmate to Jainalabdin, and she's known for her kindness. You know something? Every day, more outsiders ate with Abdul Kalam's family than all the members of their own family put together. For example, if there were 10 members in his family, more than 10 members every day in would join with Abdul Kalam's family for meals. Abdul Kalam was not very good looking. According to him, he was not very tall, but he was born to tall and handsome parents. They used to live in their ancestral house, and his childhood was very secure, both materially and emotionally, according to APJ Abdul Kalam, because all the necessities were provided for in terms of food, medicine, and clothes. So his childhood was very secure, not only materially but also emotionally. Second World War broke out in 1939. Everybody knows that, right? Abdul Kalam was only 8 years old then, and guess what? He earned his first wages at that time itself, because due to this Second World War, they suspended the train halt at Rameshwaram station. The newspaper had to be bundled and thrown out of the moving train on the Rameshwaram road between Rameshwaram and Dhanushkodi. So obviously, Samsuddin, who distributed newspapers in Rameshwaram, had to look for a helping hand. Guess who filled that spot? Abdul Kalam. Abdul Kalam filled that spot and he earned his first wages. In that way, his cousin Samsuddin helped Abdul Kalam to earn his first wages. Kalam inherited honesty and self discipline from his father, faith in goodness, and deep kindness from his mother. Kalam, just like every other child in their house, inherited these qualities from his parents. He inherited honesty and self discipline from his father. His father was a self disciplined person and he was very wise, as I told you already, and he was very honest. So he inherited these qualities from his father, and he inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness from his mother. His mother was very kind. Kalam had three close friends in his childhood. Their names are Ramanatha Shastri, Aravindan, and Sivaprakashan. And all these three children belonged to Orthodox Hindu Brahmin families. And in fact, Ramanatha Shastri was the son of Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, who was the high priest of the Rameshwaram temple. You all know Rameshwaram temple is a very sacred place for Hindus. And you know, in that place, at that time, all the people from different religions used to live together in harmony. And Abdul Kalam's father was a good friend of Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, who was the high priest of Rameshwaram temple. These children were brought up in such a way that none of them felt any difference among themselves. That's a very interesting thing. So even though they belonged to different religious communities, they never felt that difference because they were brought up in such a way, because the atmosphere in Rameshwaram was so harmonious. Kalam's family used to arrange boats for carrying idols of Lord from temple to marriage site during Sita Rama Kalyanam. You know, every year they perform the ceremony of Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam. And for that Sita Rama Kalyanam, Abdul Kalam's family used to arrange boats. Kalam's father was a devout Muslim. We all know that he was a devout Muslim, Kalam's father. But he used to arrange boats for carrying idols of Lord Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana from the temple to marriage site during annual Sita Rama Kalyanam. Isn't that great? An incident that hurt Kalam and his friend in the school. Abdul Kalam used to wear a white cap, marked him as the Muslim. And his friend Ramanatha Sastri used to wear a sacred thread, which used to mark him as a Brahmin. You know what happened? One day, a new teacher was appointed, a new teacher has come to school, and every day Abdul Kalam and Ramanatha Sastri used to sit side by side in the front row in his classroom. You know what happened? This new teacher has come to class and he saw these two children sitting side by side, and he could not tolerate that sight. He could not stomach the sight of Hindu priest's son sitting with Muslim boy. And you know what he did? He changed their places. He made Abdul Kalam sit in the back bench. And at that time, Ramanatha Sastri was crying a lot. And Abdul Kalam could not forget that incident till the end of his life. Abdul Kalam was asked to sit in the last bench, and Lakshmana Sastri summoned the teacher. Lakshmana Sastri was the father of Ramanatha Sastri. He summoned the new teacher and he told the teacher not to spread the poison of social inequality and communal intolerance in the young minds. After going to their respective homes, Kalam and Ramanatha Sastri narrated what had happened in the school, which left them very, very sad. And Lakshmana Sastri immediately summoned the teacher and reformed the teacher. After listening to Lakshmana Sastri, the teacher regretted his behavior and apologized. This incident changed the teacher. The science teacher of Abdul Kalam. Abdul Kalam had an excellent science teacher. His name is Sivasubramanya Iyer. He used to spend hours with Abdul Kalam and he used to say, Kalam, I want you to develop so that you are on par with highly educated people of the big cities. He wanted Kalam to be on par with highly educated people of big cities. One time, he invited Kalam for a meal, and his wife refused to serve him in her ritually pure kitchen. He did not get angry, he did not say anything. Sivasubramanian Iyer served Abdul Kalam with his own hands. His wife observed the way how Kalam sat, how Kalam ate, how Kalam cleaned the floor after he ate, everything she had observed. And after they had their meal, Kalam was leaving. Iyer invited Kalam to join him for dinner again next weekend. But Abdul Kalam was in a little hesitation. He was hesitated. Observing Abdul Kalam's hesitation, Iyer told, once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. We need to deal with some problems when we decide to change the system. When we all decide to change something that has been there for decades and decades or centuries, then you need to deal with some problems. It does not get changed very easily. People do not accept change very easily. So, you need to deal with such problems. The next week, Kalam went for a meal. Kalam was served in the kitchen by Iyer's wife this time. Yes, Iyer's wife, she herself served Abdul Kalam in her ritually pure kitchen. Abdul Kalam completed elementary education in his school in Rameshwaram. And the Second World War was over and freedom was imminent. All the Indians are full of hope. Whole country is filled with an unprecedented optimism. And he asked his father for permission to leave Rameshwaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramananthapuram. Abdul Kalam wanted to study further and he asked for permission and he wanted to study in Ramananthapuram. Abdul Kalam's father gave him permission and he also convinced his wife, who was hesitating to give permission to Abdul Kalam, to go and study in Ramananthapuram. This is what we have in our lesson, My Childhood. I merely gave you the summary and I want you to go through the textbook completely 4 to 5 times and read everything. And I want all of you to read Wings of Fire book. If you do not have the book, we have the book in our library and you can borrow from September 21st onwards, I think. So I want all of you to read this book, Wings of Fire. Believe me, it changes your life. It changes your life. With that, I end this class.